Hey, I'm Scott Ian from Anthrax, and you're watching Death Curse Society.
What do you got? What do you got there?
That's the magic pumpkin.
You know you're probably going to get... There you go.
I don't hear anything.
You're going to get it shut down with that song, right?
I talked over it enough, I think.
What's it doing?
It is. You know, real quick, just shh, ready? That's all you get because we don't want to get clipped there. But, yeah, Trick or Treat Studios, man. Very nicely done. Something we picked up at Monster-Mania last weekend. And very fucking cool. I love it.
Yeah.
You want it $100. They're out of print now. Sorry.
Yeah, the price went up. You guys got the last two, didn't you?
We grabbed those instantly. Kermit and I were like,
because dude raised the price on Saturday.
He did, but I mean I'm seeing that's kind of a common thing when you get to the Saturday. Man, buy your shit Friday, do your lap, and don't do what we've done many times, dozens of times in the past. If you see something you like, don't think about it. Grab that motherfucker, because while you're doing your lap shopping at everything else, when you get back to it and go, yep, that's what I want, it ain't going to be there.
It's going to be gone. Yep.
Too many times, right, Colonel?
That does tend to happen.
That's
right. Luckily, the stuff that I normally like is weird and Twin Peaksy, so it's always there.
It's always Twin Peaks shit. That's why it's always there. Twin Peaks.
They're like, oh yeah, we haven't sold one of these in 6 months. Thanks for coming by.
Well, I saw the pre-order on those things, and I was like, oh, cool, yeah, I'll get one of those. I'll look to get one of those. And fuck, the pre-order sold out in, it was one of those 15 minutes, gone. They were all gone. It's like, and then we were at the place. I was like, holy shit, there they are. And the guy's like, yeah. He goes, and the license got revoked. So this first batch is the one and only. So if you got one, congratulations. You got yourself a rare piece.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome, guys. Welcome to Death Curse Society and Monday Maniacs. Hope you all are having a lovely evening. We are going to be talking about the Last Voyage of the Demeter, and then we're going to talk a little bit about our time at Monster-Mania, since we didn't get to see you guys last week. Missed y'all last week.
Oh, man. That was weird, huh?
Yeah.
That was weird.
It was weird not doing a show, but it would have been even weirder to do a show on the road.
From a rest stop or something? Yeah, it would have been weird.
Yeah. You think Michigan's internet is bad.
I would have. 7 days ago, we were walking bow-legged through a fucking Kroger, so Crank could buy fucking cans of Skyline chili.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. I got a 6-pack up there in the cabinet now, so I'm happy.
If we'd have stopped at a rest stop to do the show last week, I would have been constantly looking over the shoulder for Chris Hansen. Like, sure, you're here just to pee.
What are you doing here?
Yeah. What are you doing?
They've been toe tapping underneath every stall. I tell you what, they wouldn't have been able to stop themselves.
Jesus Christ. There we go. There's the Colonel that we missed.
The Colonel, too.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-boop. Yeah, so, oh, man. Well, let's see what's going on. We got Bill in here. What's going on, Bill? Lorena's here, excuse me. Yeah, it happens from time to time. Tanya's here, Patricia's here, Jeffrey, the doctor is in, of course.
Yes, of course.
We finally cut that together, by the way.
It's done.
We just got to get everything else that we're going to be releasing that with it put together. But, dude, yeah, Doc, that came out very nicely, so stick around for that. Well, in a couple days, hopefully. Looks like Grizzly's here. Thanks for tuning in, man. S. Michael, what's going on, S. Michael? BK?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
By the way, the Tupperware is now been disinfected, washed, and put away, ready to be returned.
That is fancy ass Tupperware.
Resident.
Big K. Red Dragon.
Red Drank. Not Red Crank, Red Drank.
Red Drank.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's been a wild few weeks, folks, and
Dude.
the hits just keep on coming. So stay tuned because we're gonna have some, not tonight, but we're gonna have some more stuff to announce very soon, hopefully. So
Maybe sooner than later.
yep. Thanks to our members, though. Let's get this out of the way. Thanks to our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, and Tyrone. Our Crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond, and our camp counselors, 42nd Street, Pete, Corey, Dave, Michigan Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ. Thank you, guys.
Boy, that print's getting really big on that final girl and guy page.
Yeah, we lost a couple on
That's
there.
all
but,
right.
You know, hard times for people
man.
out there, man. We can't argue too much.
That's right.
Whether you're with us or not, you're with us. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Don't worry about it.
They will be back, though. That's the thing. And also, of course, thanks to our associate producer, C. Faze. Let's bring him in for a minute because I think he even has some shit going on.
Oh my God.
None of the three of us are crazy enough to do what Faze is doing, but
not yet.
Anyway.
let's see.
I mean,
Let's
I
see
feel like one of
the.
them might.
Let's see the arm. I mean, I know it's wrapped. You can't show it, but
Hey, my arm's currently wrapped up, but I can still show through here.
This
Yeah, we
fucking
got-
guy. Look at this guy.
Fucking crazy
He's
bastard.
branded for life. The mark of the beast.
there
Right
we go.
The
This
mark of the
motherfucker
beast.
went and got a DCS logo tattooed on himself.
FaZe, now you've done it. You cannot be buried in a Jewish cemetery.
That's probably true, actually.
Dude.
With those words, that's I wouldn't be surprised.
That's fucking awesome, though, dude. You're a sick
it-
fuck. But,
dude,
man, you're the man.
I'm honored, but Jesus Christ, man.
huge, dude.
It is large.
I was expecting like a little itty bitty little,
I
somewhere.
was planning
but-
on getting it smaller, but the guy came out with a pretty big stencil, and I liked it, so I stuck with it.
See, now the pressure's on. We got to keep this fucking thing together, man. So, damn.
Yeah, no shit. If it dies in a year, now I'm stuck with this.
Yep.
You can cover up with a fucking puppy or some shit.
Be a big puppy though.
Sure, we could turn that into the
St.
Barbie
Bernard. Look, I
logo.
love St. Bernards. Check it out.
Why are these Saint Bernards humping each other? And
Oh my God.
it needed to be done. It needed to be done to cover some stuff up. No, that's crazy, man. But yeah, thanks. And that goes for any future employee of the DCS. You must get inked. So
Actually,
yeah,
we've got a cattle brander ready to go now. So the next
my
guy up
God.
gets. We're gonna just make sure this shit's right.
I feel like
get-
it would
you-
not be that hard to get a DCS cattle brander either. Like it could be done.
It could.
Yeah.
could be. I know some ironworks people.
Oh my God.
So
Oh man.
all right, we're gonna let C-Phase get to work on the background, and
Crazy bastard.
Be nice to
Yes.
FaZe in the comments.
that's right, you son of a bitch. But thanks. That's fucking nuts, man. I
It's
can't.
insane. But
Cool though. Cool.
I can't say. I kind of have a dollar amount in mind. Once we cross that bridge, then I'll go ahead and tap this shit on my body.
Well, at least we.
We joked before at a con, like, hey, why don't we all sign up and get DCS tattoos? And then it's hard.
You're gonna have to get me really fucking drunk
Right.
during that con.
Crank, we'll just do DCS on you. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be so bad, you know.
Yeah, I can't do too much.
I'll just write on you with Sharpie, dude. You'll be all right.
There we go. There's Seth from the Horror Syndicate saying, "Sup, dogs?"
Yeah, I
Seth?
figured he was going to show up today because he's on the positive side of the Demeter divide here.
Yeah,
I don't know where we are with any of these guys. We haven't talked amongst ourselves yet because for
Nope.
that reason, because I just saw it today. So
Yeah, you're the only one talking. That's me and Crank are just sitting there like,
I'm just saying it's fine, dude. I'm not giving anything away. I'm just saying Seth joined us. He's got an opinion, and he's wondering which one of us, or if any, are going to line up with his. What's wrong with that?
I'm just saying, you're saying we haven't discussed this. Like, no, you tried to discuss it. Me and Crank.
I just told you my initial thoughts. I have that many thoughts on this movie, Colonel. I have that many thoughts on it. Good or
There's a
bad.
lot to talk about.
There's a lot to get into with this one.
Well, let's get into it. The Last Voyage of the Demeter is a tale told from basically one kind of small chapter of the original Bram Stoker novel, and novel.
Novella.
It's been a long day, man. I've been on the phone, and
He's been working it, man.
I've been working the emails all day. So, and yeah, so it's told from the tale of that chapter of the book where the ship, the Demeter, is transporting Dracula over to London, and you really don't get a lot from the book except like the captain's log and the story from, I guess, a newspaper, I think, about a storm that came in around that same time that the ship docked. And wow, it was a lot of movie for a very small, what in the past has been kind of looked over in other adaptations. I mean, can you remember this chapter being really told in any other adaptations, Colonel?
Not that I'm aware of. Like I said, the majority of the time it's been in the movie, as far back as the original Dracula. It's you just see a boat tossing and turning in the fucking ocean, and Dracula either landing in this fucking dirt, like Princess Court of Coppola's, or the the original Dracula movie where he just pops out the cabin like, and then that's it. The boat wreck. We go on. So no, I mean this is why I was really looking forward to this movie, because this is a tale, as far as I know, has never been told.
Yeah. Immediately after I saw the movie yesterday, I came home and started watching Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula.
I watched the original Dracula after I seen this fucking movie.
Okay, yeah, I watched the better adaptation, excuse me. But, so, and in that, they do have a scene of the boat, but they don't really explain too much about it. So, I thought that was pretty interesting. Ziggy, do you remember any film adaptations of this story before?
No, you pretty much nailed it. They touch on it. You might see a scene of him sleeping in the dirt, as Colonel said, or something, and then, which was well attributed in this new one. But yeah, not much at all. So that's why all you people out there demanding and wanting original shit, you got something here.
Right. It is pretty original for what it is, Yes, it's a Dracula tale, but it's a different kind of spin on it. You're not going to get the same old retelling of what Dracula was. So I thought that was a fresh way to look at it. So, all right, so let's get into this. Where is it? Oh, dang, they don't have it there. Directed by, and I have no idea how to say this name. Directed by Andre Overdahl. Based on a script by Baragi F. Shute and Zach Olkowicz. What were your first impressions coming in, Ziggy?
Well, I was going, okay, I'm getting up. I'm going to catch a flick before I go to work. I have to work at 2 today, and nobody's showing it before noon. So I was like, damn it. So I worked it out, and I got to go see it at noon. And first thing I saw was like 2 hours long, and I'm like, man, damn it, another one. I bet it's going to be too long. And so I was not looking forward to this, man. I was like, I really had other things I could have been doing today. And but man, I'll tell you what, going in like that and having the bar set pretty low, I was more than impressed with this. I really enjoyed it. And top to bottom. And I'm not the hugest slow-burning movie fan, but when you do it right, it proves it can be done. Hence, this movie.
All right. How about you, Colonel?
Well, as everybody knows, I'm the universal monster nerd of the group. So, like I said, my hopes weren't high. Like I said, I was interested. I was looking forward to it. Again, story, as far as I know, never been told on film before. And I'm going to say, like I said, I went with about medium expectations. And for a good 90% of this fucking movie, man, fucking fantastic. I felt like I was watching Alien on a boat. It felt like I was watching Alien. It was fucking awesome, just the suspense and watching how everything, God damn it, watching how everything plays out, without giving away too much of my thoughts. But of course, like I said, 90% of the film, I was absolutely in love with it. The other 10% we'll probably talk about later.
All right. Yeah, this is one that I've been looking forward to for a little while. Maybe not immediately after it got announced, but pretty soon afterwards when people started kind of talking about it. I got this excitement about it. And I did have high hopes for this one, honestly. And it pretty much lived up to them. I was thoroughly impressed over... I'll stick with what Colonel said, over 90% of the movie. So I dug it. The director, Andre, has done the Last Autopsy. Yeah, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and then also the Last Autopsy, or the Autopsy of Jane Doe. So he's got a pretty good track record under his belt. I think we've mostly all liked both of those films. So... yeah, I thought he did a good job. Let's meet our main character. Clemens is the main lead in this, and he is played by, dang it, I just had it. That guy. Right. Where is he? Corey Hawkins. That's what his name was. How'd you feel about his performance in this? I remember him from that brief reboot of 24 Legacy. I think he was the lead in. So, Colonel, start with you on Corey Hawkins.
I thought he did a fine job playing the character. I really have no complaints about the acting. I really have no complaints about the character but one. He was too good, if that makes sense. Too goody two shoes. Goody two shoes, yes.
Okay.
Which it makes sense, especially towards the end, when they have their talk and why he thinks the way he does and this and that. I understand that, and I didn't really necessarily hate it. I just wish he had a fucking flaw, man. Like everybody else, he had just one flaw.
He did almost go after that one guy. He was like, "Say it again."
The guy was asking for it.
He was asking for it, but
like I said, everybody on that, every crew member had a flaw, one way or the other, and this guy was just like perfect.
Yeah.
So I thought he played the role really well. Like I said, it's not the acting or the actor; it's the character. Where I'm like, come on, dude, can you at least like spark up a cigarette, something? Like, give him one little bite. Drink some fucking coffee all the time, but something. It's like
you wanted him to be flawed in some way, like the flawed hero.
Of course, like I said, to me, he was just too pure of a character. But no, he honestly, if you ask anybody else, I'll say it. There is not one bad acted part in this entire fucking movie. Even the kid was good. We'll get to that later.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh, the kid was great too. Yeah. Seth, I'm going to highlight this for just a second because I want to keep him around for later. Seth says the only thing I didn't like was the ending because of how it intrudes on Bram Stoker's novel. Otherwise, I loved it. Seth, stick around because we don't want to get into spoilers yet, but I do want to talk to you about that because I have some thoughts on that too.
Big time.
Yeah. So, Ziggy, what about you? Corey Hawkins and his portrayal.
I hear what Colonel's saying, but I get it because here he is, an African American, going and he's becoming a doctor. He's a philosopher. He's the highest education and proven himself at every level on that journey, and then only to be turned away because of the color of his skin. Only because, and that was his flaw, I think, was when he kind of showed his kind of, like, oh, you guys didn't, you wanted me until you saw my face, and now you don't want me anymore. That's it. Just
I can argue that being a flaw. I see that as a
I'm not done.
Character, okay.
I'm not done.
That's a virtue.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. Now he's called out like that, and he's driven now. He's going to be good, and he's going to be the best. He's going to be better than that, top to bottom, and it's just more motivation when that thing happened to him. And that's really the only little glimpse you get into something is just something that drove him further to be a better man. And that's
right.
That virtue is excellent, right? I mean, but that's the only time he really tipped his hand, and when the dude was asking for it. So, but I thought he handled it well, and you guys are right. There's not a bad performance in this entire film.
There's not, and that's something that really floored me.
Small cast.
Small cast, but still, there's always normally, even in the biggest, budget films, there's always at least one guy that's just not pulling his weight. Maybe it's one or two scenes. He was tired that day, whatever. But this one, solid all the way through, and I was super impressed with that. I want to hit one more comment real quick. I hope I say this right. HaleyCon73 on Twitch. No idea what the topic is, but at least you're good guys and not racist, etc. No, we're not. If you were coming from Twitch for that, you're in the wrong spot. But there's 3 million other channels on Twitch that you can get your fix on for that.
No. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
No, he does say he's a 49-year-old white chap from England, but I hate racists.
Right.
Hey,
oh yeah.
Yes. We do.
Exact same. So
we are the society. Everyone's welcome here, man.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, man. The thing about Corey Hawkins' character, I almost thought this entire movie was going to go through without them even mentioning his race. There were some facial expressions that kind of led to it when he was being picked or not picked for the ship, and then he had that moment near the end where he talks about a previous job that he got denied for once he arrived for the job. But I thought the whole movie was going to come out without that, and I thought, very nice, very nice. But I didn't mind the little bit that they did include it. Was that enough social commentary, if you will? Because I know everyone likes to, they're shoving the social commentary down our throats, kind of stuff. Was that enough? Was that too much? Was that too little? Ziggy.
I don't really think. Okay,
What?
I was getting a staggery internet connection there, of course. Michigan internet, woo,
Woo!
But yeah, I like, as I said, I don't think it was too much. I don't think they rammed it down. They were trying to say anything. This is a little thing about this guy. And again, I feel like he was using that to make himself, I'm going to be better. I'm not going to stoop to that. So yeah, I don't think it was too much at all. It was hardly noticeable.
Right, exactly. And it was 1897, so
right.
There were some issues back then. Colonel, do you agree with Ziggy on that?
To be fair, though, he was English. They were wiser to get rid of something that us in the States hadn't at that point. So, but also, I wouldn't. I thought it fit perfect for the story. It didn't bother me. Like, it was, I guess, the perfect amount, but they could have went further. Or like you, I assumed they weren't going to mention it at all, and I was completely okay with that because I didn't think the character is bigger than this.
Sure.
The character was way better than that. Like,
Yeah,
so
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
it, yeah, I guess I would say it was just right. It just fit the story. I had no problem whatsoever with it.
Very cool. Very cool. What? Anybody else from the supporting cast that you guys were digging on? Colonel, you mentioned the kid. You want to talk about him?
I mean, he's not my second favorite or my favorite of the cast. But no, I mean, you guys know how I feel about child actors. I think everybody's the same. Like, you hold them to a much lower standard because they're just children. They're not going to be the best. Granted, we had some real good ones recently. And this little dude did a good fucking job, man.
Yeah.
Like, he was totally believable as the captain's grandson. He played that part fucking perfect. Like the scene where he, trying not to give anything away yet, trying to stay away from spoilers, where he's below decks and he's crying because he didn't do his job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, you felt for that kid because everybody's been there at one point or another where you felt like you disappointed your parents or your grandparents and asked you to do something and you kind of fucked up even if it wasn't your fault. So, I mean, he did a really good job when he cheered for this little fucking guy, man. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Get him a red hat and cast him in the Maximum Overdrive reboot immediately, and we'll be fine.
No.
Yeah.
So, Colonel, who was your number 2 then?
Oh, fuck the captain, dude. Fucking captain.
All right.
Great. Fucking phenomenal. Again, I don't want to give too much away, but shit. I felt sorry for that fucking guy, man. Like, there's just so, like I said, there wasn't a bad performance, man. That's why it's kind of hard. Like, it's like, but they're all separated by like this much. Like, pretty damn close.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Haley Khan 73 says, even though this isn't my topic, it's really good to see smart people streaming. The world needs more of you chaps. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
We do stupid shit too from time to time, so stay tuned. You may see some of that later. You never know.
Right.
I shared with somebody today our the rocker ball thing that we did up in Monroeville,
Oh God.
and they were just cackling. So there you go. I want to go back up here before I get Ziggy's thoughts on supporting
2.
cast.
Yeah.
When I get this in here. Joseph says, guys, I got to tell you the story. I just got back from the grocery store wearing my DCS Loomis t-shirt. This 80-year-old dude came up to me and said, if that's not the most cherry little t-shirt I've ever seen. We both started cracking up. I actually went out to my car, put on a regular t-shirt, and pulled the DCS shirt off my back and gave it to him. This just happened 20 minutes ago. Very cool, man. Well, shit, now we got to send you another one, don't we?
Get him a Loomis.
We'll work on that. We'll get something.
Somewhere.
We'll get something for you. That's very cool, man. Love seeing the DCS shirts out and about. Check out our shop at deathcursesociety.com. Get your own DCS shirt. There are going to be some new designs coming soon. Once we get through some of this video editing and game show ridiculousness that we've been going crazy for.
And we definitely hit the 4th gear, or the 5th gear, as they say. The last couple of few months. So I mean, the shit is crazy. So, but
Yeah.
we're not going to stop. But we're going to get it to you. It's just takes a little longer.
Yes. Patricia says the knocker ball day was the best. Yep, she helped film a little bit of that. We appreciate that. That was very fun.
Oh man.
All right, Ziggy, talk about your supporting cast people. I gotta get more to drink. I'm like choking up over here.
For me, the guy, and I forget his name. It's the dude that saw the monster first through the telescope. And I just dug the way, because he was a hard, ruffian, a sea guy, but he was definitely, he had the brain, he was, he had like a moral compass. It seemed it came through for me, and boy, he really had a rough one too in this movie. But he was definitely my second favorite, and the captain's right there too, Colonel. I dug the captain a lot, man, and I loved how he kind of. He was, can't say. He snapped a little bit, at a point, and it was cool. It was very like tense and off-putting. So, yeah, but for sure, those two guys, for sure. I mean, the other guys, they were there. Some of the crew are just they're there just for feed or fodder, whatever we're calling it, but they were still good. They're still good.
Are you talking about Wolchak?
Wolchak was the
second mate, basically.
The first guy that saw the monster with the telescope.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah, I liked him.
Oh, wow.
I was telling
I have
Carl,
no idea who that was.
I felt like he did a good job. He was a sea ruffian guy, but his moral compass was apparent. It came through.
Oh, maybe Petrovsky?
Yeah.
Was that him?
I don't remember their names offhand. The tall guy that looked, with the tall, long black hair, and terrible things happened to him later.
Fucking Nandor. That's what I was calling.
Yeah.
Nandor. Yeah, dude, like I said, I think this cast was amazing and very good. I didn't realize when I started watching this how much I had kind of missed that old-time Gothic horror and a good version of it. Because, man, I sat down, I got nestled in, I was ready to go. And once the first couple of scenes started just rolling through and that music, and fuck me, Bear McCreary on the soundtrack, we'll get to that in a minute too, but that's unlike most of his stuff by far that I've ever noticed anyway, and so good. But I just got sunk right back into the 1800s, and that's one of the things that really felt good about this film did for me, at least. Ziggy, what'd you think about the setting and the mood and the way they shot this one?
They nailed it, and there's not one point do you ever get shaken out of that reality that they've created. Not once.
No.
And it's just, and yeah, you're on in the hull of a ship for the whole movie, so it's just good, man. It looks really good. It's just the creeks are there. Everything you fucking would expect to be on an old ass clipper ship like that. Fuck, it's just perfect. It's perfect. It's just perfect.
Yeah. Colonel, what about you? Anything to nitpick about the design or the cinematography in this one?
Well, you guys know I'm a fucking stippler. If you're gonna do a period piece, that it is accurate. I'm with Crank. I was transported to fucking 1897, the entire fucking movie. And the gothic feel you had to it, it wasn't totally, but man, it was nice watching a new horror movie that kind of felt like I was watching an old Hammer film at times.
I was going to say something about that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was going to say something about that, but on a nicer budget.
Man,
It was phenomenal, and just the cinematography was great. I mean, even just the knocks on the boat. Hey, if you need me, just knock.
And I loved how they
you just kept thinking, you're just waiting, like, oh shit, someone's gonna fucking knock.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love how they kept calling that back too.
That's a good job to build up the tension.
Yep.
For honestly a much longer movie than I thought it was gonna be. It's a shade below 2 hours. What, an hour and 58 minutes?
159.
158 is what I saw it at.
Yeah, just a hair below 2 hours. But man, it kept the tension going the entire fucking time. For at least an hour and 35 minutes of it. It was phenomenal.
Very nice. Let me hit a couple comments before we move on here. Seth says the kid was surprisingly good at emotional moments. Yes, he was. I agree, Seth. Rick from the whole damn enchilada pod says, speaking of child actors, while that new Children of the Corn movie was god-awful, the little girl in that was great.
Yeah.
Have you guys bothered to watch that yet?
Yeah, I remember I told you I was doing work while you guys are in fucking New Mexico.
I watched some
That's
clips.
DCS work, so I watched it. Yeah, he did great. What? Oh, you're new. He's newer. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a little colonelism. She was good for that, but that film was still a piece of shit, and her acting was shitty. Even if you put glitter on it, that's a nice piece of shit, but at the end of the day, it's still a piece of shit.
Sparkly piece of shit.
A sparkly piece of shit. Where's the doctor's office when you need it? Okay, there we go. Joseph says, I saw the Doctor as a character, not the black guy in the movie.
Yeah.
Good. The same way I saw a band in Night of the Living...
Ben. Yeah, he means
Ben in Night of the Living Dead. He didn't care about his color. He really liked his character. He was interesting.
And you were fucking gutted when he got shot in Night of the Living Dead. Gutted.
God, you love to tell that story.
Oh. It wasn't just me, dude.
No, I know. There's James right there. What's up, James? Best guys ever. I don't know if you went to the horror con that shall not be mentioned on this show, but if you did, I hope you had a good time. Sorry we were not there, but
right, we were there.
You know a little bit of the
friends,
story
with our friends, right? A spirit of our friends there. That's all.
Okay, yeah, but we were in New Jersey having a damn good time playing Curse Your Luck
and getting paid for it too, by the way.
And getting paid for it. Yeah. Oh, did we mention that?
Oh yeah.
BK says, I can't tell if the Colonel's shirt is a tree or the top of Bob Ross's head. Any help would be appreciated. So let's see the shirt, Colonel.
But it is the top of Bob Ross's head. Oh,
where is it?
That is just Wolfman shirt.
Art imitating life.
There we go. We got the Wolfman meme live done. I never thought we'd
it's
see
almost
the
like
day.
I knew, dude. Like 5 minutes ago, I scrolled up to right there. I was right there. I didn't.
I'm
even
glad
see
you
your
made
shirt.
it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you made it to that. Seth said, speaking of the other characters in the film, Captain Elliot had the most tragic arc. Liam Cunningham is fantastic in this role. Yes.
Yes. Thank you. I couldn't remember his name, Seth. Thank you so much.
That was very good. Here's a couple of comments about our store. We need to make fat white guy shirts. Or how about just fat guy shirts, Bill?
Yeah. We just went over this whole thing about everybody's welcome, man.
Just fucking with you, Bill. But yes, we're working on that. That's one of the things that we are working on. So, stay tuned for the store. Hopefully there will be some changes coming. The whole website's probably going to see a new look and stuff very soon. There's just a lot going on, man. Haley Khan says, I'm just stoked about the UFO thing that's happening with you guys over in the USA. You mean the fact that the government's finally admitting that there's some shit going on?
I just love the fact the government's admitting some shit's going on, and it's been so shitty the past 3 years. We're just like, okay, but we just don't.
No. I'm waiting for the what are they not telling us? That they're showing us this. What the fuck else is going on that they're hiding? If they're showing us fucking 8 fucking UFOs, what the fuck? What's waiting behind curtain number 2, man?
Ziggy,
Congress, man, saying that we have fucking bodies.
Okay, Ziggy, please do not get into your lizard people running the show kind of conspiracy theory. I can't hear it. All right, fine.
That's what's coming, man. Stop it!
All right. Grizzly says there can always be more X's in front of the L. We'll work on it. Bill likes that comment as well. There we go. Haley Khan says our ability to write horror stories does give credit to humanity's imagination. Yes. The bad thing is when those horror stories are not as bad as the real horrors that are out there, but we'll save that topic for another show. I don't want to bring the room down right now.
Right.
Seth, speaking of actors in Last Voyage of the Demeter, I'm going to butcher this name as well. David Dasmalou is one of my favorites in the movie. He's so good in a lot of stuff. I loved him in the little bit in The Boogeyman, which was the only scene in the movie The Boogeyman that was from the short story of The Boogeyman. I thought he was great in that. I thought he was great in this.
Dude, he was the shit in Dark Knight.
And in the Ken says can't wait to see this. Seth says totally crank. The film reminded me of old school horror filmmaking. Yes. Seth agrees with Colonel too on that. There we go. See, Haley Khan. That's what that pumpkin was that Ziggy was showing off. You know Halloween 3. I had a terrible idea about a horror film using child's TV program characters in a reality setting. Weird, but it's just the exploration of the imagination. Write it down, man.
Hey, Halloween 3 is in dire need of a modernized reboot. Make it good. Make it good.
Somebody's doing a fan film continuation of it soon. Let's see.
I've seen enough.
Grizzly says, I love those old Hammer films, some of the best in my opinion.
Yes, but this one, it totally has the Hammer vibe, dude, but it just looks so fucking good. It's so polished. The fog looks good. The rain looks good.
Yeah.
You're in the shit, dude. I mean, the theater was fucking cold. I was all this.
Even the CGI looked good.
Yeah.
And there was some.
There's a little.
There was some, but not a whole lot. But it looked good. Patricia says, uh-oh, I like the new Children of the Corn movie. Oof. We'll see. I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say anything. I have low expectations for that one, though.
I would like to have a discussion there to see what exactly was intriguing to you about it. But, you know, it's all right. Like we always say, nobody's wrong here.
Nobody's wrong. That's right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can look at Colonel and I can tell you right now what he got out of that movie was exactly...
You've been waiting to do that.
I've been waiting.
Yeah,
I've been patient now. It's an hour, isn't it?
No, not
35 minutes. Close enough.
Grizzly needs your T-shirt, Colonel, and Seth enjoys it too, along with Patricia.
Fright rags. I don't know if it's still available. Probably not. But that's where I got it.
And BK says, "Yep, Bill. No. I was again fucking with you, but it was just a funny timing." I'm not going there. Damn it, guys.
Oh boy.
Hey, Haley Khan. Hey, thanks for tuning in, man. Wish you chaps good night. Hope this doesn't offend, but sci-fi, horror, role-play, people with imagination, convention. Love you guys. Well, hey, glad you tuned in, man. Thanks for...
Anytime.
We're here every Monday night about the same time, so tune in again.
Before you go to sleep. Good.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the points.
Here we go. James says, uh-oh. He says, hell no. If y'all wasn't going to be there, no way in hell I was going. You guys are fucking awesome anyway. Y'all just keep doing y'all, and I don't blame you for... Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, we had to...
It wasn't our choice. It wasn't our choice. Yeah.
So.
It wasn't our choice.
Back to the film, Joseph says, I think the entire cast did an amazing job in this movie. Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, I think. So, oh man, you guys are going crazy on there.
Yep, I haven't touched it yet. It says 114 on mine. So.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Jesus. Talking about you guys are talking about aliens a bunch. I'm gonna.
That's a fair statement because I was thinking that, and you have to if you've seen both films, you will be hard pressed not to notice the very close similarities and
both
inspiration
films of what?
Of Alien and Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Oh, okay.
The original Alien.
Well, before we talk about aliens and why Crank's going through the comments, just to kind of fill some airtime. I know this isn't what we're talking about the film, but Seth, I know you're with me on this one. You guys might be too. I was like, I did a woo on the inside when I saw the werewolf Kane. I was like, that was fucking awesome.
That was a nice little
over fucking Easter egg.
Yeah, that was a nice little tribute right there. I like that too. Before we move on, Raymond has one question for you, Colonel. Are you going to the Danzig concert? Just stop in and ask and say, woo, what's up? I will watch the replay after I watch the movie. So what's the word, Colonel?
Probably not, buddy. Everything's coming in the middle of the fucking week, man. Can't really pull it off for multiple reasons. So I want to. I really want to, but I won't be there.
All right. Any complaints for this film? Because right now we've been kind of singing its praises. The only thing I will say, and it's kind of a necessity for a film like that, is a lot of it was very dark for dickheads with these thick of glasses to be able to see. So, I can't see in the dark, man. Like, if I watch this movie again, I'm going to have to crank the contrast up on my TV just to watch it.
You old fucker.
And, yeah, shut up. You're the same as me, so don't even... You bitch about the darkness, too, every now and then. But that's the only thing, man, that I can think of. And maybe some things near the end that we'll talk about. But, Ziggy, any complaints?
I mean, I maybe somehow shave 10 minutes, but it's not that obtrusive, man. You actually get through this 2 hours pretty fucking without... I wasn't looking at my phone, didn't check the time or anything. Mm-hmm. I just embraced it as a slow burn, and I wasn't going to miss. I was looking for shadows, and I was looking for things in this boat. When the way they shoot it, everything is suspect. So, I can't... There's not much to complain on this.
Yeah. Dr. Smiley says, all three of us are blind. You're right. Oh.
That's true.
Grizzly says, I thought you could see through walls with them glasses. I can't say much since I had lasers shot in my eyes. Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I'm telling you, man, it's a curse.
Yeah. What about you, Colonel? Any complaints about this film that we can get into without spoilers?
Like I said, really the only real complaint I have about this movie is at the end. Like the way it was filmed, the sound, like everything was fucking spot on, man. Like I really have no complaints. I guess don't want to be nitpicky just to have a complaint. That was Zag. They probably could have knocked 10, 15 minutes off the runtime, but
not much more though.
Man, I didn't mind it.
We say that about almost everything, though.
Which we'll get to that when we get to the spoiler part. But I thought I wanted.
But this time we do say that, but this time here is less. It's the least amount I would even apply that to this. You know, for this 2 hours, I'd be like, if I had to leave one of them alone, I'd leave this one alone because it was. There's not much you could wiggle out of this, honestly.
Yeah. No, there's not. I mean, because a lot of the dialogue and a lot of the, even in-between scenes are kind of important to the story. Like, very important to the story in some respects. Yep, see, there we go. Rick from Whole Damn Enchilada says, that's the only complaint I've heard is the darkness.
I really think it helps with this movie, though. I really do. I really think it adds to it. It does. You know what I mean? We've seen dark stuff. That dark episode of The Walking Dead, that dark episode of Game of Thrones, where it's just like, God damn it, what the fuck am I doing here? You know? This helps, man. This helps this time. I get you, and I don't always like it doesn't really bother me as much as these two guys of the dark like that, but
the fuck, man? How am I on actually getting lumped in? I didn't complain at all about the darkness of this movie.
You normally do, though. Maybe not this movie, but you normally do.
Because I'll be honest with you, I had no problem seeing anything in this fucking movie. The fall scene, yeah, but you're supposed to not be able to see shit.
It's designed
the
that way.
darkness didn't bother me in this one.
All right.
This isn't the one for the darkness, man. Everybody that's saying that, I don't know why they're saying that. It doesn't, because to me, this is absolutely a level of the film that needs to be there.
All right. Joseph brings up an interesting point that I had on my list to chat about here, but let's talk about the creature himself. Joseph says, Dracula was the most brutal I've seen in any other movie. Would you consider that to be true? And what did you think of the design? Because I thought the design was pretty dang kick-ass. Colonel, I'm coming back to you on this one.
Oh, I'll start with the design of Dracula first. I'll be honest, during the trailers, I really thought I was going to hate this design. But watching the movie, I grew to like it fairly fucking quickly. And I like the fact that he didn't really transform.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, this is kind of a spoiler. It's like this is the blue cheese of spoilers, okay? You can still fucking eat it. But it made sense because I was like, man, is he ever going to change or is he going to grow younger? And he didn't. It was because it makes sense because he wasn't feeding well. We'll just say that. You know what I mean? So it made sense for him to stay in this form. And then
right.
I have more to talk about this later.
Okay. We'll come back to that. I like the fact that they kind of a little bit, especially at the beginning, kind of do the Jaws thing. You know, you don't see much of him, but about halfway in, you start seeing him everywhere.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty cool. Ziggy, your thoughts on the creature design and his brutality?
I was the same way. I thought, based on the couple of peeks you got at him, I was kind of going, we've seen this design before. I'm not that impressed with it. But then, again, you don't get to see him. They Jaws your ass for 45 minutes. And then all of a sudden you start catching a peek, and there's a moment when there's a locked door that they're looking through and see him in the light, the moonlight. And on par with the shocking moment when the alien walks out in Signs. It's fucking that intense, man.
It was pretty good.
Whoa! I mean, it makes your hair stand
The
up.
fucking way his eyes were glowing, man, that was cool as shit.
Yeah, he was very, very. And then you get to see some good looks at his face, all practical shit on this vampire. There's no CGI on him.
Right.
Maybe when he's flying around a little bit, but that's the only time they did it. When you're actually looking at him close up, this motherfucker is creepy.
I would love to see like some of the behind the scenes where they're building that,
Sure.
Those prosthetics and stuff, because I think that would be very cool to see, or
I mean,
just to see him in person somewhere.
I was kind of thinking to myself, I was like, wow, what's the last real scary vampire that really scary? I mean, I'm thinking Barlow, back to those Salem's Lot days and stuff when I saw this guy. You know, I mean, because the vampires are different in like From Dusk Till Dawn and vampires themselves. You know, they just got the fangs and the eyes.
Now they had some decent makeup effects on some of those,
Some of them, I mean,
and From Dusk Till Dawn at least.
But this one here, man, this is this depiction of Dracula. You know, I very happy with it. I really like this fucking movie, man.
Awesome. Okay. We're gonna warn you now, because we are gonna get into some spoilers, because I don't think Colonel can hold his nut any longer than he has already. You know, do you have a sock with you? A towel?
It's not that kind of nut.
Oh, okay. Just wondering. I am gonna make you wait a little bit longer, but Ziggy, start us out with the ending. How did you feel about how this movie ended? And we'll go back to Seth's original comment about how it infringed on Bram Stoker's original book. How did you feel about that? And do you remember the chapter or that much about the book back in the day?
It didn't end like that, in a bar like that, you know. But as far as I recall, what are they trying to set up a sequel here?
Maybe. I have a feeling the original script did not end like this.
Right.
And the studio was like, no, we need it open. We need it to be open for a sequel.
Because our good doctor kind of becomes almost a Van Helsing kind of person. You know, he's on the hunt now, it seems, as this movie ends. And Colonel is going to bust here. I think the glasses might be coming off here. We'll see in a second. But I mean, that's...
Dr. Smiley says, Colonel's been edging since the start of the show.
The funny part is I've had to explain what that was recently.
But I got a huge Van Helsing type. I was kind of confused. I got to go back and I guess I got to read Dracula again just to get it all down. I really want to now that I've seen this.
Before I pass it to Colonel, the only thing I'm going to say is I'm kind of shocked that in the novel, the dog on the board lives, but doesn't in this one. Colonel, take it away. Give us your expertise. There they go, folks.
It's been a while since I've had to fucking do this. Again, you guys remember the top of the fucking show? No, you don't need to know. No.
Don't do this.
I don't like the spotlight. So, at the beginning of the show, I was like, 90% of this movie, I fucking loved it. This is where they completely lost me at the end. Now, I understand you're doing a story about a very small part of Bram Stoker's book. Okay? I understand there's liberties that come with that. The fuck? I can't even read that.
I'm just putting that up there. It says we're entering spoiler territory.
I couldn't read it. What? Okay. What the fuck? Okay. What the fuck? That's where I was like, the only expectation I have for this fucking movie is at least I know everybody's going to die. Wrong. Fucking wrong. So at this point, let me tell you, folks, at the end of this movie, Bram Stoker's Dracula, fucking rip it up and throw it the fucking away because they just fucking did away with all of it. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. Yes, they did. Because there was no mention of fucking John Harker, getting him over there. There was no mention of fucking Mina.
No.
Again, luxuries they can do with this fucking book, or this story. They don't have to stick to Bram Stoker's book. At one point, they're like, why is he going to London? And it's, because pretty much he needs more fucking food.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very animalistic to look at it. He took the fucking romance out of Dracula. Okay, I'm not a big rom-com or romance guy, but fucking that's one thing I appreciate about Dracula is that it's somewhat of a fucking romance story. Okay, I'm okay with a little bit of that. So you took out the main reasons why he was even going to fucking London. All right, whatever. Then, like Zach said, now you got your fucking Van Helsing fucking dude. I'm going to hunt you down. It gave me Dracula 2000 AD fucking vibes there, which totally fucking ruined the fucking movie. I was like, come on. Seriously, we're going this route. Fucking seriously. And then, when he fucking Dracula's toying with this fucking guy, he's at the bar doing the knocking with his fucking cane, and shot of the fucking wolf cane. Dude. Man, he still looks the same. He barely looks fucking human. Like, he looks like a fucking leper. He ain't going to pass for... I was expecting some Gary Oldman, fucking suave looking motherfucker to walk up in that bar. No. He was just wearing a fucking top hat and a fucking cloak.
But you wouldn't... I think they left him like that because the audience wouldn't have really seen the low bar audience would not have seen that translation.
They're fucking idiots. I mean, this story's been around for over 100 fucking years. You don't know it yet?
I'll say this, Colonel. I will say this. They did kind of play the scratch a little bit. So maybe he had a little bit of an infection. Maybe that's all in his fucking head.
That's still fucking lame.
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's still fucking lame because, like you said, they left it wide open for a fucking sequel to a movie that, honestly, as much as I love, needs no fucking sequel.
It doesn't.
It's done. Like, the story's fucking done.
I'll fucking get in line fucking first one if they do a sequel like this to continue this. I don't give a fuck.
Well,
dude. I thought it was that good, man.
Here's the thing. I don't think we have to worry about a sequel because it didn't do that well in the box office. I think
7 million.
7 million, not even 7 million.
What did everyone go see? Fucking Barbie again?
Everyone, dude, I saw friends in the theater that were back to see Barbie again for like a second and third time. So, yeah. Colonel, I agree with you.
Thank you.
I agree with you in that respect.
I think we both do. I mean,
yeah, because if the one thing I will not necessarily disagree with you on, but I will offer a counterpoint on, is in the book, we don't really get. There could have been somebody that jumped ship that got away when it was still out there and just rode ashore later unnoticed somehow. So
I get that, but
Clement's escape is possible.
Okay, I can't argue with you on that. Okay, I see your counterpoint. I'm not going to make another counterpoint. But I have a counterpoint. I have another thing to say. Produce evidence. Like, here's why I'm fucking bitching. At the fucking beginning of the movie, it takes place at the fucking end. The ship is fucking wrecked. Police are all searching on this guy's on the ground like, I can't believe what I saw. And then the movie, there wasn't shit to fucking see. There's one fucking Russian that got fucking slaughtered and blood everywhere else. And that was fucking, what the fuck was he freaked out about that? They tossed all the dead animals overboard.
Dude, like, can you do that line reading again, though? Because if they do a sequel, I want you to be in it. Do that again for me, please.
I was in a fucking rage, dude. I don't even know what I just said.
Yes.
Damn it!
Highlighted moment. Let's see. What time is it? 9:03. Mark that phase.
902. Mark that, and we will have to be cutting that at some point. Yes, you're right, but I see a way that Clemens could have gotten off on one of the life rafts and it not necessarily be, super obtrusive to the film or to the rest of the story. Which, let's go ahead and get in here. Where I just saw this. Damn it, you guys.
150.
Here we go. Grizzly says, wouldn't the sequel be Dracula? Yes. Yes. Exactly.
But we get the same team to retell us that story now.
Right.
How about that, huh? We keep it in the same fucking vein. We can swim a little bit to the side, into the side here and there, but keep it in this fucking atmosphere. No. Turtle says no.
All right. Here's Joseph's take on the end. He says, we don't need a sequel all the time. We just need a good story. By having a survivor, it takes away the tragedy from the book, in my opinion. By untying the captain from the wheel, it takes away from his heroism from the book. Cross has worked in the beginning of the book and at the end of the book, but it doesn't work on the ship. Stupid. Sunlight weakens vampires in Bram Stoker's novel, doesn't make them explode and burst of flames. There's a lot of things that I think have grown from the vampire lore since the days of Dracula being written, hence vampires bursting into flames in the sunlight. Things like that. I definitely see where untying the captain hurts, because he was supposed to be at that wheel when the ship lands. So I actually read the chapter again just like 2 hours ago. So I found it online. I couldn't find my copy of the book somewhere. I'm losing more and more books like every time I move, and I don't know what's going on. So, where is it? There it is. Seth's point. What I mean, and what he meant from the beginning of the show, is that once Dracula goes to London, we have everything with Mina, Harker, Van Helsing, and the crew thing. Here, they set up Clemens as chasing Dracula and putting him in that story, which he wasn't a part of. Exactly.
That's what I said.
Ziggy?
Yeah.
There you go.
Exactly.
You want to expound on that?
So, what are we doing here, and why did we do that? Is it just we're just taking a few liberties with this story? I mean, I am personally of the mind and in the opinion of, you did such a great job on this movie. I'm forgiving. I'm letting it go. This is just a one-off movie. I fucking love it. And multiverse, if you will. I don't know. But I love it. If Clemens is now the new Van Helsing, or maybe he meets up with Van Helsing at some point, and they work together. I could see that happening.
Here's the difficult thing with that, and I agree with Joseph entirely. There are a lot of movies that don't need sequels. Abso-fucking-lutely agree. But in this day and age, movie studios want multiple things out of a singular project, and we know this. They want not just the movie, they want the merchandising, they want the every kind of promotional tie-in they can do. Can McDonald's make a Happy Meal in the shape of the Demeter? I'm shocked it didn't happen.
You said it though, dude. I mean, it's $7 million. I don't know what the worldwide box office was on this, if it's out yet everywhere else, but 7 million is not gonna fucking.
That's what I saw earlier.
That's what I saw too. 6.9.
And Faye says the budget was about 45 million. So,
oh boy,
this one Universal might be taking a hit on this.
Fucking shame too, man. Brilliant movie.
You know what's a shame?
Yeah.
Is the last two Universal monsters? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been a long 3 fucking years for everybody. The Invisible Man and this. They were done fucking right. It's like there was like DC, but they just can't seem to get these fucking DC movies on par with Marvel. They're doing something wrong, because the last 2 movies I thought were fucking great. the Universal monster movies. There has to be an audience for this. They're just not finding it for some reason.
Well,
It doesn't help going up against Barbie, Oppenheimer, Ninja Turtles. I mean, if they would release this in October, they probably had a bigger return.
Ninja Turtles, that's it.
Or they should have.
Because honestly, when I was going to see this, I was like, "Run through Turtles."
This
the Turtles movie, but I had to watch this for the podcast.
This I know not a lot of movies, not a lot of good movies are released in December. This could have been one of those sleeper December hits, man. In my opinion, I don't even think there's too much coming out in October that's gonna be heavy and hurt and hit the box office hard. I'm not either, but the box office is gonna go fucking nuts for it.
Because the more I see that fucking trailer, the more I know I'm gonna hate this fucking movie.
I've seen it now 3 times.
I'm going to Pete Soup in fucking disgust by the time I'm like, piece of shit. I already fucking know, but I gotta watch it and they're gonna get my money.
Fuck you, David Gordon Green.
Yep.
That's all. That's what I'm looking forward to in October. Damn it, Joseph! I saw you say this a minute ago. Yeah. Here's your point, Colonel. Joseph says, I heard if they named it Dracula Takes a Cruise, it would have done better at the box office. Here's your point, Colonel. When The Invisible Man came out, right before COVID, it was called The Invisible Man. Only Dracula purist, literature nuts, and the fucking people that have seen other podcasts and other reviews know what The Last Voyage of the Demeter is. Your average moviegoer has no fucking idea what the Demeter is. So you put that as your title, yes, it's going to get us, the hardcore, horror junkies, and the people that actually used to like to read, or do like to read, and it's going to suck us in. But your Barbie fans, and even your fans of Megan, or your fans of the Conjuring universe, are having no idea about what this is.
How the fuck do these Barbie fans have the attention span to sit there for 2 hours and watch that?
I can't knock it because I haven't seen it.
2 words: Ryan Gosling.
Oh no, Margot Robbie. Come on.
That too.
I will see Barbie eventually.
It's Quentin Tarantino keeps going and buying all the tickets because he buys the whole theater. He's got the feet scene in it.
For the feet.
Yep.
But yes, I think the title alone hurts. Invisible Man did great in the box office.
They showed what this was, and they said Dracula in the fucking trailer. So I mean,
I see so many people that show up to a movie theater anymore that are looking at the list above, going, "What should we see?" And I didn't used to see that. It used to be you went to the movie for a particular movie. I'm going to see The Last Voyage of the Demeter, not show up at like 7 and be like, well, what's playing in the next 20 minutes? No, that's what I'm seeing.
I went in there, dude, and there was this guy, and he may have had some kind of Alzheimer's or something. I don't know. But he was in there and he's like, all right. And he got his tickets and he's there with an older woman and a younger woman, probably our age,
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, all right. He's like, so he's still standing there. I'm like waiting. So I literally got 5 minutes for this fucker starts. I just got to, and he's just staring at the clerk and he goes, well, what time does it start? And the girl standing next to him goes like, right now. She's like, well, all right. And he stands there again and I take a step forward. He doesn't move. I stop again, and I just looking at him now, and he's like, "What time does it end?" And she's like, "Come on, Dad, let's go." And she kind of dragged him away.
Oh, jeez, poor guy.
What is going on? So I bought my ticket, and the dude's all kind of helping me. Never looked up once. And then I got my ticket, and I was like, "So, what time does it end?" And he looked up at me. That was the only thing I got him to break. So, but
nice. Patricia says, Barbie versus Dracula. I would watch that. Bring Nicolas Cage back as Dracula. Oh, God No.
I still need to watch Renfield. I haven't watched it.
You haven't watched that yet?
You do.
They're gonna make me resubscribe to fucking Peacock. I don't want to.
You do have to watch Renfield.
It is good.
And there's our buddy Sparty. What's up?
Hey,
Hi, guys, from
hey,
St.
John.
John, Michigan's Jason.
I used
What's
to know
going
a
on,
dude
man?
in St. John's when I lived in Lansing. They had a Photoshop.
Colonel, did you look at that chat, private chat?
I did not.
That's for you.
That was
Joseph says, all the complaining I just did about the last 10 minutes, I still love this movie, and I will buy it on Blu-ray. I'm definitely going to buy this one. So,
I don't buy movies, and I'm going to buy this one.
Yeah. Here we go. Seth says, nearly every adaptation aside from Coppola's films struggled to get all of the characters from the novel: Harker, Mina, Van Helsing, Lucy, Seward, Arthur, Quincy, Renfield. So, if they were successful enough to do a sequel, they would likely have to sacrifice an original character to slide Clemens in. Personally, Demeter would have hit harder if Clemens had a tragic end. Yes.
Amen.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Night of the Living
Absolutely.
Dead, baby. Night of the Living Dead.
Seth, you're a purist, I think. Any problems with the dog not surviving? Because in the book, the dog runs as soon as the ship lands, the dog runs off and is never seen again, but it's still alive. So,
Well, I think they know that nobody likes to see animals get fucked with in movies, so they did it. They went there. Kids and animals.
yeah, fair enough. Seth says The Exorcist. I love your discussion on this too. Exorcist, 2 girls, 1 cup of Christ. Looks generic as fuck. Personally, I'm beyond stoked for Saw X.
You know,
I saw the trailer for that
now
finally
that I
in the theater.
know that it's right after Saw 2 and it's all this stuff happens and they're bringing it, this is going to be kind of cool, I think. I'm actually interested in this. Because I like the pure revenge of it. You know, there's a pure motive of the actual people that directly fucked with him. That's intriguing to me.
Yeah. I'm interested. I'm more excited for Saw X than I am for Exorcist Believer. I'll say that much. James, there's a couple of movies that are coming out in the next couple of months.
I'm going to change The Exorcist. I'm not a believer because I don't believe it's going to be good.
And there's 3 of them.
I'm not a believer.
What the fuck?
What the
What?
fuckity fuck?
I don't.
What?
I can't even think of a good joke to wrap up like 3 Exorcist movies. You know.
Jeez.
I can. In 3 words. David Gordon Green. That's the joke. That's the punchline.
There's the joke. All right, Joseph says, wait a minute, here's a thought from what Crank said. Because it was called The Last Voyage of the Demeter, I think the people who knew what that was were all expecting a pretty solid direct telling as described from the book. I think that's why a lot of the people who went inside left kind of disappointed because they changed it. Perhaps. But, man, when's the last time we've had a movie that has been a direct retelling of the book or the source material? There hasn't been that many, and I don't think we should expect that anytime soon. So, as much as I would love to, I don't expect it hardly at all anymore.
If anything's going to bother you, it's the fact that Clemens is now on the tail of Dracula. That part is kind of fucked up. You know, what? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the weirdest part to me.
Yeah. All right. Overall, let's get down to numbers on this. Let's give it a number. I haven't been able to say that in a while. Ziggy,
Wow.
0 to 10. The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Where do you rank it?
I totally did not want to go see this motherfucker, man. I just went, you know what? It's never stopped me before. I'm going to see it. I got to do it for the show. Let's do this. And I loved it. I just fucking loved it, man. I mean, yeah, they took some liberties here. Not quite sure what's going on with the cross yet. I don't know if I'm good or against it. I almost want to see this again just to see what's what with the crossing, because the cross usually that's the be all end all of all vampires and Dracula in particular, you know. But
after time, he becomes more like it doesn't bother him as much, or others like him. Like the scene in the scene in Coppola's Dracula where the vampire wenches are rising out of the bed around Harker, and he has the cross on, and one of them just and it dissolves into liquid.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I mean, still. I mean, it was there. It was the symbolism was there, you know, and it's something a vampire fan, Dracula fan, book aside. You know, but I still loved this movie, and you know, even the little changes with it, you know, aside from the crazy ending with our boy becoming the pseudo, Van Helsing. I don't know what's going on. I think it's just a one-off movie. It is with $7 million domestic. So I loved it, though. I really, really did. This is probably the strongest thing I've seen this year so far. I can say that with confidence. I liked it better than Evil Dead Rise.
Really?
I liked it better than some of these other ones we just saw, like with the Cobweb I just saw too. This smashes that one to pieces.
Really?
2 hours.
I want to see Cobweb too.
And hey, man, I don't always do this. And if they would have got everything perfect, I guess it probably would have been my first 10. But I'm giving this a 9.
Ooh.
Solid 9.
Wow.
That's good, man.
Wow.
God damn. I don't think you've given it a 9 since the menu.
I haven't.
I'm impressed. I have to say, I'm impressed.
Just everything's right about this movie. Everything. Just the way it looks and sounds, and it's just good, man. It's worth it. Even if you see it just once, it's worth it. See it in the theater.
Yeah. All right, Colonel.
Here we are. Finally, ranking this fucking movie. No, like I said, I really did love this fucking movie. I thought it was well acted, brilliantly shot. The scores were fucking amazing. It's just that fucking ending. Now, I can overlook the vampires bursting into fucking flames. I can overlook Dracula not being repulsed, by the cross. That stuff I can overlook. I can't overlook the fact that pretty much you're taking away 2/3 of a fucking well-established novel and throwing it away to tell your one little fucking story. That is just killed the movie for me. That's not me saying it's a terrible fucking movie. It's just so fucking Hollywood to do that. It just really fucking irks me. It just fucking irked me.
Let me fix it for you then real quick. In the sequel for The Last Voyage of the Demeter, Clemens is killed off in the first scene, and then you're introduced to Van Helsing.
Well, we're thinking hypotheticals here. I'm not talking a hypothetical. Yeah. I'm talking about the movie that just came out.
Damn it! I'm trying to save you, man.
And what are you trying to save me for? It's my fucking opinion. I don't need to save. I'm just saying that is what left a sour taste in my mouth at the end of the fucking movie. Because, like I said, they had so many liberties with this one fucking story. I forgave all that shit till the very fucking end. Okay? Because even if he does meet up with everybody, like I said, they didn't mention fucking meeting up or any of that. So I'm assuming that wouldn't be in the fucking sequel. Maybe he hooks up with Van Helsing and they hunt him together as a fucking vampire hunting duo, like a fucking tag team, the fucking like midnight
buddy cop
shit. Fine, whatever. It just either way, you still threw away a classic fucking novel from your source. It's your source fucking material for this fucking story. I just can't let that go. Honestly, if they would have, I'm with Seth. If everybody would have fucking died, I probably would have given this movie an 8.5. The ending alone, I gotta drop it below Evil Dead Rise. I dropped it down to a 7 because I still. And that's not saying it's a bad movie. I'm gonna fucking buy this movie because it was that good for the majority of it. Like I can't argue with Zag's 9 because I can see why he gave it a 9. I can't say you're wrong. But for me, just the ending of the third act, just rubbed me the wrong fucking way. It's all right. I think solid's a very solid score for this movie and fair. Yeah. So.
All right. Hey, thank you, Melissa, for the stars. Miss you. Hope you're doing well. Just got some. I honestly, I really don't even know what that means.
Can
But-
we? Someone told me we can buy shit with those. I don't even
Like what?
Can
I
you
don't know nothing about it.
with the
Can you-
stars.
can you
I
buy
thought it was
whores?
just like kindergarten. We got a star for doing a good job, and we got to pick out a fucking toy.
You know what we actually got? Sorry.
Next time we go to Blairstown, I'll get you guys some ice cream. How about that? All right. So a 7, huh? And
I
a
feel that's
9.
a little bit low, man. But I understand as a purist and a Dracula fucking lover, and I do understand where he's hurt. He's
Right. If
he's
he wasn't,
hated.
if he wasn't the universal loving monster that he is, I would argue with him a little bit more. But I get it. I get it. I dug the shit out of this movie. I was swept in like from the first moment. I really dug it. Yes, there's plot holes, or not necessarily plot holes, but I don't necessarily appreciate where they took some of the story. But that's not my fucking job necessarily as a fan, really. In some ways, I'm just kind of along for the ride. And what's the ride that is the ride you're providing me worthy of my time? This one I thought was. Like Colonel, I don't like the fact that they're trying to end up making this some kind of potential buddy cop movie with Clemens and Van Helsing. I don't want to, another 48 hours after the Demeter. I don't want to see that, but although that would be great.
First, Tango and Cash.
Now it's Clemens and Van Helsing in Beverly Hills Cop Vampire Hunters. But no, I dug it, man. The acting was great. The mood was great. The cinematography was wonderful. God damn it. It's starting to happen a lot more now that we've been doing the show a while, but fuck, Zigzag, you and I are agreeing. I'm giving this a 9 too. And this is right now at the top of my list for 2023. It just bumped over the Boogeyman, just barely. So
Yeah.
and Talk to
I
Me
wanted
is
to
up
make-
there Talk to Me is up there in that top 5 too somewhere. I just don't know exactly where yet.
I just got to make sure that was ahead of Evil Dead and ahead of the Boogeyman. Even though I love the Boogeyman too, I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was the one this year. But
I'm still waiting for something to take Evil Dead rides off the top. And you know what? This might by the end of the year.
yeah.
You never know.
I think once you watch this again, you might.
No, well, like I
Might
said, then they still fucked up the ending and they threw away the fucking book at the end. Like I said, it would have gotten a fucking 8. But they had to fuck it up. They fucked around and found out. And I was like, oh, give you 7. Boom.
It sounds like they tried that in a small town. But
Boom, boom, yeah.
oh wait, there we go.
Yeah, then I whacked it with my fucking folded chair because they tried the chair.
Oh gosh. All right, so there you go, guys. 2 9s and a 7 from us. What would you rank it? I think Joseph mentioned he said he originally gave it a 6, but after hearing you guys talk tonight, I'm with the Colonel. Mine's a solid 7. There you go.
Great minds think alike. Just saying.
That's right.
That's right.
I just,
Bill says, I think Colonel just shit his pants with that 9,
I
Crank.
was shocked, but honestly, I should be more shocked by Zag's 9 than Crank's. Crank's given a lot of fucking 9s over the years.
he has.
But
I
in
think
real life,
it's-
he can only hit 3s.
I read no.
I've given a couple of 1s and 2s also.
That's true.
I've read no reviews
Who's
before
worse?
I went and saw this. Nothing. Read nothing. Wanted to go in cold and clean, and I did that. And as soon as I got out, I started seeing that. Oh yeah, people are bitching about this or that, and a lot of the purists. The purists are the ones who are the most upset that it just deviates that far away from Bram's book. So
But I'm still
Yeah.
giving it props. I'm still
Yeah.
saying watch it. I'm still saying I'm going to fucking buy it. That was
Yeah.
still a
yeah,
good
it's
fucking
well,
movie.
it's kind of a shame that everybody went and saw Ninja Turtles and Barbie instead. But I mean,
The
what
timing
it
of
is,
these
yeah.
is
Yeah.
everything, man. But a summer release for this was a terrible terrible idea because there's so many fucking blockbusters coming out right now. Or not blockbusters, but bigger hits.
This would have ruled the Halloween season.
Or just after.
Season.
Or November, December. It would have ruled then too.
January.
Yep.
Would have been a good one. Well, hey, I'm glad I saw it, and I look forward to seeing this again.
Well,
absolutely. Yep.
And this brings up a question for another time, and actually that other time is next week, because next week I'm dropping some info on the viewers and these guys all at the same time, since you guys haven't been picking any topics or anything lately. So next week we are going to do our top 10 vampire films of all time. Now, yes.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. Well, hey, contribute a little bit in the click-up discussions, and maybe it wouldn't have been 10. But yeah, we're going top 10 vampire movies of all time, and that should be an interesting discussion. Will Demeter be in anyone's top 10? Can you solidly say?
If you guys
yes.
fucking 9, it better be in both of your fucking lists.
Really? You think it will be in your top 10, Ziggy?
Mine?
Yeah.
100%.
Really?
100%.
Colonel?
Off the top of my head, I think it'll make it. Well, I'll say it's 60-40 it'll make it. But if it makes it, it's probably going to be in the bottom half.
Really?
Off the top of my head. I haven't done any research yet. You just dropped the bomb on me.
I know. I just dropped a... I dropped the bomb on you.
No, wait, you say vampire movies or Dracula movies?
Vampire movies.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because that opens the door.
I know that.
That opens a lot of doors.
Lots of
That's
them.
number 1. Rules, boys. Boom. We don't even need to turn it. Tune in.
No.
You think that's my number 1?
I can almost guarantee it's either going to be. No, I'll save that for later. Because I do want people to tune in. There's 2, I think. I give you 1. That's your 1 spoiler. Though. That 2, I think it's going to be. One of the 2.
Well, now I'm going to change my list altogether. Fuck you.
You're going to force me to watch a couple of movies that I...
Renfield's my number 1. Go suck a dick.
Renfield.
That would shock me. Okay, I was like, oh damn, I didn't know. I'd be out fucking $50.
Oh, there you go. So that's what we're doing next week. But before we get off
That'll be fun.
tonight, let's chat about Monster-Mania, man. We missed you guys last week.
Yeah.
Driving back from Philadelphia and New Jersey, and we went through a little side trip, which I already I kind of gave it away already, but you guys knew where we were going. We finally took the Colonel to Blairstown.
It was
Colonel.
shit, man.
What was your thoughts on Blairstown?
Well, at first I thought it was kind of cool, the cemetery. You know? So we thought
Or should we change the subject? Should we go to a different subject?
We saw the first diner. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then we see the hill and the tunnel where Andy walked down. I'm like, that's cool. Great fucking chocolate ice cream in Blairstown, by the way. We found this awesome little ice cream shop. It was fucking wonderful.
Soft serve.
When we went to the fucking camp, when we went to Crystal Lake,
See,
that's when I was like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. Like, that's what it took for me to be like, all right, okay, I see this guy's excited. It's cool. I was like, holy shit. Like,
see, Crank and I didn't even go to that last time. You know what I mean?
No.
And we kind of snuck him up the road and everything where the opening gate is, and we saw it. You know, camp Nobi
Bosco.
Billy Bosco. I would have hopped.
It was quite cathartic.
Privacy gate if it's closed. Saying.
Oh. So, Colonel, I'm glad we got. I'm glad we got to take you there. I'm glad we got to take you there, man.
I went grocery shopping today. You have no idea. I got ice cream cones. I'll tend to. Let's get some chocolate ice cream going there.
I'm glad we got to take you up there because I know you were pissed off that we went through there a couple years ago.
Hold on.
Or not pissed off, just like, you know.
Yeah, I was there. And Blairstown Diner. For one, the guy at work from New Jersey, he's like, man, I was telling me about it. It's like, man, you got New Jersey's got the best breakfast food. I'm like, dude, it's breakfast food. I don't think I can fuck it up. Well, those home fries were pretty good, even though they threw me off at first. I was like, home fries is just fucking potatoes chopped in fucking half. But they were fucking delicious.
The homies are good, man. I love the homies up there.
I think the breakfast we had the first time around they weren't as busy, so we got like, you know what I mean? It wasn't rushed or anything.
Right.
I thought this one was kind of like they were just trying to get us the fuck out of there as quick as they could.
Yeah.
Damn, they had some sweet ass fitted hats and dude, $40.
Overpriced,
man.
That's New Era prices. I ain't paying New Era prices for a flex fit
dude.
hats.
What the fuck? Do I get an autograph on this motherfucker?
Now you got the hat connoisseur coming out at me.
Yeah.
I'm not paying $45 for a flex fit hat.
I mean, I was happy to see it. It was, you know, it wasn't the stupid flat bill like every fucking hat. You can't even get a what do they call it? The sport curve anymore or whatever it is.
We were hoping while we were up there that we would be able to meet up with South Jersey Jason from the Horror Shed podcast, but we did not get to. But we chatted with him a little bit while we were up there, and saw his photos on the wall at Blairstown Diner.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool. Saw another poster up there on the wall too, but yeah, we're not talking about that. But yeah, man, I love going back to places like that and just having our picture taken there at the entrance of the camp and even the cemetery. And we shot some video footage there too, so we'll be working on putting that together hopefully pretty soon. We have so much video probably have like 30 hours of video footage to go through.
Too much. I'm looking at shit going, fuck, where did I put this? I got to go and search folders and cards.
But yeah, thank you, Rick. That's what I was leading to was South Jersey Jason has an event coming up at the Blairstown Diner on Friday, October 13th. So if you are up in the area, go and check that out. Not sure exactly what we'll be doing, but we will probably be doing something that weekend as well.
I think we're near there, but not near enough.
Details coming shortly.
Sure.
And for Rick, just so you know, they got that big map of the United States where everybody marks where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
Up by Cleveland, I wrote "sucks" right next to it.
He did.
Sorry, buddy. Football season's officially started preseason.
Yep, he did. I saw that.
I did not. I would not be that rude. It's Cleveland.
But besides Blairstown on Sunday, we took a little side trip to Philly after the event.
With my nerdy ass. Like, come on, nerd, come on.
Dude, I was all about the historical stuff, too. We got to go see the Liberty Bell. We went to Independence Hall.
We couldn't get into the one. They wouldn't let us in. They
wouldn't let us in. But we saw Thanos as a security guard outside of Independence Hall.
He was cool.
Colonel?
Fucking Thanos. I was calling that motherfucker was Gandalf in my fucking mind.
I got pictures of that guy, too.
And the sad thing is they gave that guy a fucking gun. He had a fucking gun.
I'm aware.
His nose hairs were reaching out at me. I had to walk away, dude.
Dude, his nose hairs look like fucking... Like fucking swamp thing about to come out.
No, dude, he looked like he snorted. Yeah, he looked like he snorted a Brillo pad. Come on, man.
Okay, leave Gandalf alone. And Colonel, talk about the historical significance of some of the places we went.
Well, obviously, if
you're the history nerd,
you're from the fucking States. You never in Independence Hall. I can almost guarantee you dropped out of fucking school. I was Independence Hall carries great significance. Philadelphia as a city as a whole has great significance, even though it's probably the dirtiest fucking city I've seen besides Washington, D.C.
Really?
Yeah, D.C.'s pretty fucking dirty, too.
Well,
Philly was fucking filthy, man. I'm sorry, it was.
All right.
But I was Independence Hall, man. That's Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the first capital of the United States. Right next to Independence Hall, you had where Washington is sworn in as our first fucking president. I mean, you had the fucking original president's house, which we didn't get to see in the area. Like, it was in the Liberty Bell. I mean, it was all cool as fuck, man. As I'm not, as political as I'm ever going to get on this fucking show. But if you ever get a chance to go to Independence Hall and you don't walk away from it, like, wow. I don't care what side you're on. I'm not talking sides. If you don't walk away like, wow, it's like, these crazy motherfuckers did something, 200 plus fucking years ago that's still going today, rather how you think it's going or not.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking touches you, man. That's kind of, at least the history nerd in me was like, this is some deep shit here. Like, and I did find out unofficially that there's a cool bunch of kick-ass fucking outhouses outside.
Okay, that's what I was getting ready to say. Speaking of deep shit and touching you, the one question that you did ask while we were in that entire area was, what are these red boxes? Are
they guard shacks or outhouses? I couldn't find a park ranger to answer, so I just asked a cop. That was my burning question. All that shit. It's like, it looks like an outhouse.
That's what he thought.
And all he could say was, yeah, I think it's an outhouse. There's some pretty historical shit down under here. So, yeah, pretty crazy. But BK has a very important question. He says, shut the funk up and tell me about Pat's cheesesteaks. Ziggy!
I didn't have one. See, we ate...
That's the point.
That's what he had, folks.
Right. No. See, now, we had New Jersey steaks sandwiches the night before.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't feeling a cheesesteak sandwich the very next day. So there was a little pizza place called Doughheads right across the street from this place. Pizza. So I went in and got myself a slice. I think we shot a bit about it, and posted it. So yeah, it was pretty good. It was good. Now I might have embellished and said it was the best pizza, the capital of the world.
No.
I was hamming it up for the camera, folks. Philly did good pizza, but wouldn't probably be top 10 anywhere.
All right. I'll talk about Pat's cheesesteaks.
Talk about Pat's cheesesteaks, boys.
Because that shit was delicious. Like he said, we had some other more of a chain cheesesteaks the night before that were okay. They were pretty tasty. Had an interesting kick to them, if you will. But Jesus Christ, that's the meat from Pat's was delicious. Fuck. Colonel? Agree?
Pat's cheesesteaks, like the ones the night before, I really fucking liked. I was like, this is good. Like, here I was thinking I had, like, crossed the fucking Delaware River, which also has historical significance, which I was talking about in the car as we were crossing the fucking river.
Oh.
I thought I had one. I'm like, then we actually went to Philly and went to Pat's. No, I was fucking wrong. I had a Philly cheesesteak from Cincinnati officially, from Jersey, and because the one at Pat's was fucking delicious. The only way I fucked up was I went with Crank's. I followed Crank's path, his lead on this. So, I'll get some provolone cheese. He's great. It's not real strong. It did pair well with the steak, but I like the little kick. I should have got the Cheese Whiz, like a real Philly cheesesteak instead of the provolone. But, man, that meat was fucking delicious. Okay. The meat they used was fucking delicious. Let me say or phrase that before I get ridiculed for how I was originally going to say it.
These motherfuckers barely swiped their cards, and they're like, here you go. They hand it off right to you.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a second. Just
Yeah, it was
done.
It was ready. There we go. There's a challenge I'll take with you there, Rick. He says, my live stream is to get one from Pat's and one from Gino's. And they're right next door to each other.
Could have threw a stone and hit Gino's, too.
Fuck Gino's, though. They look too fucking flashy.
And there was another pizza place right around the corner, too, so I could have did the same thing again as well. Everyone would have been happy.
Well, you did do the same thing. You went back to get another slice, but you got a different slice. And
got the square, the square Philly. Listen, square pizza.
Not your thing.
This is not your thing. Let that go. The round one's fine. Delicious. Perfect. Square's not for you. Do something else. Stay with the rounds and leave the squares to the people that know. Let's just leave it there, okay? Sorry.
Also, Colonel, Rick wants to know if you're down to go to the game in January, if you can get a couple of tickets.
If it wasn't in January, I'd say yes. That's too cold for me, man. We don't get the cold like you guys do up in Cleveland. Granted, we did have a freezer bowl, but that was really before global warming took hold of the fucking planet. And it actually did get cold. I mean, like Yeah, it's cold. The average cold down here in the winter is like 33 degrees anymore, man. So I don't know if I can go to Cleveland with lake effect snow and all that shit in January.
Well, there
And
you
I don't
go.
want to get beat up by a bunch of Cleveland fans. I would be respectful. But I would sing the Bengals fight song every time they scored a touchdown. So I might get beat up.
All right. Well, then,
It's Cincy.
yeah, there you
Good
go.
luck, dude. Good luck getting scoring tickets, man. I try to get some for the home opener against Baltimore. 2 tickets is going to be about $400. I'll watch it at home.
So what you're saying is you got
Pretty much.
Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway, the thing that the people really want to hear about, Monster fucking Mania.
Wow.
Colonel, what'd you think? This was your first time to the Monster-Mania, wasn't it?
It was, and I thought it was a very well-run con. I've seen a lot of complaints about people complaining about Kiefer Sutherland, but to get a star that big, you got to plan that shit out properly.
Yep.
I think those are unfair complaints. But no, I thought it ran really fucking smooth. It was ass cracks to ball sacks, and boy, that one elevator scared me every fucking time I got in it. That's my
The one that was broken on Saturday? Yeah.
But no, I thought it was a great con, man. It was nice seeing a bunch of new vendors. It was really nice to see a few friends of the show that were there.
Yeah.
You can see it in the Midwest. It was nice to see familiar faces out there as well. Like I said, it was a good con. I would show you my haul, but my haul kind of sucked. Here is my complaint about.
his haul.
My haul from the.
I thought he said he's going to show us his hog. I was like, what? Hey, hey.
It's not that kind of show.
Unfortunately, one kick-ass shirt I got is fucking dirty because I still haven't washed it. It's only been a week. The other shirt I got, which I liked more than the first one, I was going to break it out on tonight's show, kind of rub it in Crank's face. I got a biggie small size. That shit's a fucking schmedium. Okay, I was like running around looking like Phil Collins from Trailer Park Boys, if you guys fucking know. I was like, what the fuck? This ain't that fucking size. It's tiny. I might keep it and give it to you, Crank.
Is it the Night Flyer?
No, it's the Pearl shirt.
Oh.
The blue one.
Huh.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's right. You got the blue.
This ain't the fucking size I asked for. It looks more like a fucking large, extra large.
Okay, yeah. What is the shirt I left at your place?
Why don't you guys talk and I'll let you know.
Okay. Ziggy, what'd you think of the Monster-Mania?
Yeah, I mean, you and I, we get around a lot of these fucking cons now. We've seen a whole bunch of different layouts and everything. This one was cool. It's spread out. Would you say it was kind of like Motor City Nightmares, the way it was laid out, but a little bit bigger?
Bigger, but yeah, the same kind of format.
Yeah, same kind of format where, this you go straight, it'd be a vendor hall here, then it was connected to some of the autograph areas and photo op areas, and then you'd go back this way, there'd be another vendor hall, but it was a dead end.
Right.
So yeah.
But then they had that one exterior pavilion that had the majority of the main celebs.
That's where Kiefer was. He had his whole fucking floor.
Well, no, he had his own fucking floor. Yeah. What was my shirt?
Yeah, we saw MJF.
Right, you ready? Well, here's more stuff I got from Monster-Mania weekend.
No, don't show it all. I'm curious what shirt I left.
Well, I was going to show this new fucking Stephen King audiobook I got. Looks like you got a couple. Your Exorcist shirt.
Oh, yeah. Those are the ones from Motor City then. And then, No, it's like Jason, Freddy, Leatherface.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you got that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Reagan on both of them, so I was kind of confused. I was like, you got two of the same shirt? And I got a Darth Vader Pez dispenser.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, man. I was just curious which ones I left up there because I was looking at my stuff when I got back here, and I was like, I know I got more. And then you mentioned that. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was like, you left your shit.
Anyways, Ziggy, continue.
Yes, the organization of the show was just amazing. The people behind it, Dave and his crew, Clearly, they've been doing this 20 plus years, and it shows. But just wow, we had a blast, top to bottom, and can't wait to go back, man. Keep those guests coming like they do, and shit, it'll be easy. It's easy.
Right. They've got another one. They've got another one coming up in Hunt Valley, Maryland, October 13th through the 15th. So if you guys are up in that area, go and check that out.
Would you like to see Curse Your Luck up in that area of the map?
I wasn't even going to go that far, but...
Or would you like to go see Edgar Allan Poe's grave?
Ooh.
Or would you like to go and see the Exorcist steps?
Yeah, I mean, all that's got to happen.
Ooh,
we all got to roll down those steps. And
I'm rolling. You're not going to go do that?
Depends.
Okay. Bastard.
I know what it depends on. You know what it depends on. Of course.
What?
Ah, the French.
Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, but while we were up at Monster-Mania, we got to do another production of Curse Your Luck live in front of an audience. We had about 90 minutes this time to play around. And I'll start by saying, fuck you, Jeff. And Colonel, what'd you think of that?
I thought it was fucking great. But I'll tell you guys, there's a huge difference running the game board on a fucking 32-inch fucking 42-inch fucking flat screen 4 feet away from you than the fucking 24-inch monitor 8 feet. And it's even harder to hear people from fucking 12 feet away. So I would say it didn't start off great.
We had a couple of hiccups when we got there. Man, we hit stride. We hit
stride quickly. I made a joke out of it. People laughed. We all kind of fit into our roles, and I think it went rather well once those roles were established.
Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to be able to see some of the video footage we got from this, because we actually had a camera on the audience, and I saw some of the footage when someone hits a curse in the game, and we captured it on video, the audience response, and it's pretty fucking cool, man.
Sucks for them, but
it did. But dude,
that's what we want. That's what everybody wants. You know it, we know it, and they got it.
Yeah, I am kind of having a blast right now with where we're at and being able to do this for as long as we can. I don't know how long this ride's gonna last.
Yeah,
none of us do really. But you know, if there's anything going on in your area, feel free to mention that we can bring the game show up there and do a show. You know, for a price, obviously, because we gotta cover some expenses and shite.
All the equipment and it's the gas that's killing us, man.
And squeezing all that equipment into a vehicle to still have enough room for all of us to get up there, because that's something we need to talk about afterwards. Is if 4 of us are going to this next one, how are we going to fit that?
We're going to take 2 rides, man.
We may have to.
Anyway. I was talking to FaZe. We can just real quick. We can get into more of this afterwards, but he may come this way, and we'll meet up with you guys like in Cincy, if that's what's going on.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Right.
Yeah. So, man, thank you guys for being there since the beginning. And I can't wait to see some of you on the road. And let's see where this goes. I don't know. So, but cool. Dave at Monster-Mania, thank you for inviting us, and I hope we can continue to do business and grow with the Monster-Mania family, and we'll see.
We were really treated great there too. I mean, the con goers were all really cool to us.
Oh yeah.
And no one knew who the fuck we were until we did our thing, and then it was really cool walking around there Sunday, and everybody, we threw away a fair amount of shirts into the audience, and people won them and stuff, so they were wearing them, and it was. And
we saw a couple in the audience. Yeah, that was
sure.
Even Zach, buddy, he met outside on Saturday night, was wearing his on Sunday.
Yeah, after Crank went to he was partied out. So he went to bed early the one night. There was a fair amount of stress that day, so I mean it was understood. And yeah, we ran into a fella there. He was actually one of the vendors, Colonel. He was selling in the one, but because
I just know I had to entertain his friend that got you there.
oh,
I was
God.
like, get the fuck away from me, is what I was thinking on the inside.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now.
he was drinking quite a bit. He was really drunk, but it was a different kind of different kind of drunk.
Yeah, but there's nothing worse than being sober and having to deal with a drunk.
Oh, hey, come on now. Who are you talking to?
I'm just saying, if I was drunk as well, probably would have been my buddy for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's fucking nerve within 20 seconds. And I got the first thing bitch face. Like, I don't come off as being friendly.
No.
Yep.
And he still talked. I was like,
He's like, hey, man. And then once he knew, yeah, we were from Detroit and Cincinnati, respectively. But, he did. And that's the guy who he took us to. I smelled him Friday.
Your stoner senses were tingling. I could fucking see it. It was amazing.
I like that dude right there, man.
Like, you just fucking knew. You knew the right guy to hook you up.
Well, here's the thing. I started to panic a little bit because it said, I looked it up as I always do. New Jersey, it's legal. Great. Recreational? Great. However, you have no dispensaries open yet. You can't buy any fucking weed anywhere, man. So I was like, I had some I brought with me, but man, I was kind of very generous with myself on the way there, and I didn't have as much to get through the whole weekend, plus an extra day, until I ran into my friend, and I got his band and his booth, his company. I'll give him some love next week. But yeah, he hooked me up with a few things to get me through the rest of the weekend and the trip home. So muchos gracias, my friend. It was very helpful.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
Well, Rick from the Whole Damn Enchilada Pod wants to know, when are we going to get some video of Curse Your Luck? Man, I know Faye's answered it in the comments, but we're working on it. I've been editing. I think Ziggy's been doing some editing. We're all working on some stuff, and it's just taking some time because
there's 7 cameras, man. We got to go
hours. There's hours and hours of footage that we got to go through. So give us a little bit, and we'll get some. James says it's going to be a long ride, boys. Y'all will go far. DCS, thanks, man. Appreciate it. You've been.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been there with us for a while.
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah, at the con that shall not be named. Bill says, just come back to New Mexico and do it as soon as I have a feeling we'll know something
pretty soon
about that fairly.
Probably by the fall, I would think. They got to start planning it if they're going to do it.
Yeah, I would say by the winter, at least, we would know something.
Bill, we already said it. We pledged our loyalty to Morgan Crypt. If they do have a con, and
we're there.
We're there, man.
Yep.
And we're bringing the whole fucking thing with us again.
Yep. Dr. Smiley says you tell him, Bill. That's right. Virginia says, happy for you guys. Hope it grows more for you. We're working on it. We're working on it. Man. Joseph says, can't wait to see the Curse Your Luck live.
It's a trip, man.
It's so wild to see. I mean, we don't know, man. Smiley wants to know, when are we getting the Curse Your Luck board game? Funny you should say that.
Funny
you should say that. Yeah. Hey, nothing's off the table right now, baby.
No.
Nothing's off the fucking table. I say that much. But anyway, I think we can leave it there. This has been a wild couple of 3 weeks, man, and it's just getting started. So,
like it's caught fire fast once shit happening. We can. I say we even talked to some of the whole thing, the Jimmy J thing. Some of his boys came up and talked to us.
We did see one of them.
You know what? I got it. He was respectful. He had questions. We had questions, and we all ended up shaking hands and walking away cool. So I mean, it's not even the thing.
He wants us to come on his show,
right? So I mean, and like I said, it's so silly, but I think he understands our position a little bit better now than what he did prior to maybe talking to us.
Well, before he walked away, he said it's good to know you guys weren't just gunning for him. And
right.
No, that was absolutely never the idea. Our intention was to say something to protect the little guys, because the little guys had no voice to be able to say, besides talking to him directly, to say, hey, we're kind of getting fucked here, and no one's helping us. No one's talking to us. So that was all that was. We got that settled or whatever.
Let's be honest, it helps me standing behind you guys like this the whole fucking time.
Yeah, Colonel was just mean
Probably,
bugging
yeah.
the dude.
Colonel was just kind of hanging, like the security guard.
No, but I mean, it's just like we kept seeing the dude, and he was kind of like, "Oh, that is you guys." That's kind of how it started. We were like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" And then, we had shit about a half hour discussions there.
Oh yeah, we talked to him at least for a half hour.
Yeah. So it's cool.
So, all's good.
All's good. We move forward.
Yep, we're dealing with bigger shit right now.
I was just sitting there like, dude, I was at a softball game. I don't know what's going on.
This is true. But yes, so next week we will be doing top 10 vampire films of all time for us, our favorites. And then, let me think. Let me see. The week after that, God, I've been loathing this one. The top 5 of 1973 are the next 2 week shows. So start doing your research, boys.
73. What the fuck? I was 2.
Oh. There's Grizzly. He says the heckling creepy twins would love to do it again. I have that video put together too. I meant to mention earlier. And it's fucking badass.
Yes, thank you.
Can't wait for you guys to see that. James, I saw your question earlier about coming to one nearby. I don't know yet.
Nothing's off the table. Yeah.
Can't answer that yet. But if they want us to come back, there's a fee.
Money talks, man.
At least for what we're doing.
James, business is business.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. I got no problem coming in, working it, and entertaining the fuck out of you Oklahomian folks, because you guys were really cool, man.
There's some cool people here, man.
I do. I was looking forward to it. That was like 2 years in a row I got to go there, and I was like, yeah, this is a great tradition that we've started. I was really happy about it. So a little bit hurt when it fell through.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hope we can see you again.
Yep. Anyway, before we go, one more time, let's say thank you to our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Tyrone, our Crazy Ralphs, Rick and Raymond. Make sure to tune in to Rick's The Whole Damn Enchilada podcast. I believe on Fridays. He does different days from time to time whenever he has a special event. Rick, if you're still there, when's your next show? Remind me. And Raymond, of course. And then our camp counselors, 42nd Street Pete, Corey, Michigan Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Patricia, and JJ. Thank you, guys. And, of course, thanks to our associate producer, FaZe, who's still in the background there. Let's get a wave. Let's get a wave.
Woo!
Hey. Woo!
Hello.
Hello. All right. See you later. All right. We got to wrap
Eating
this
a bowl
up.
of cereal there? What the fuck is he doing?
He may be eating a bowl of cereal. Leave him alone, man. Anyway, thanks, guys, for watching. Tune in next week, and we'll talk vampires and why they suck so bad. Somebody used that joke earlier. I can't even remember who it was, but somebody. Okay, there he is. There's Rick. He says, this week is Thursday at 7. Woo! Woo to you, James. And but Rick also says, normally Friday at 8. Oh, he's going to Guns N' Roses. Nice. All right. Oh, Dr. Smiley says, y'all have a great night. I'll talk with Morg about hitting you guys up. Very cool. They know where we are. I still talk to them every now and then. They, we hit each other up from, random thoughts.
New Mexico doesn't have to worry, man. I mean, unless aside from some pre-booked date or something that's the same days, we'd probably say, hey, try to steer them off of that day if that was the case,
Yeah, but we'll see. Anyway, we'll be back next week.
That's right.
Thanks for watching. Ziggy, send them out.
Fuck, man. Yeah. Might even have a couple of announcements next week for you. Who knows?
We probably will.
Probably will. There's a whole lot of shit cooking in the pot. But, man, he said it earlier, and it's just amazing, this fucking ride, dude. It's so fast, and it's getting so high so fast. But we're gonna hold on as long as we can, man. And digging you guys riding along with us the whole way. So stay with us and let's rock this thing. Vampires next week, man. 10 of them. Fuck, that's gonna be tough. We'll see you then.
All right, Colonel.
That's all been fucking said. So thanks for joining us tonight. Looking forward to next week. 10 vampire movies. Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh my God, quit
You know what,
bitching.
though? This week I might not wash my dick so I can get sick so I have time to watch a shit ton of vampire movies. But ladies, please, please, please don't smell like a Scuba Steve. Make sure you're using Summer's Eve.
Or you'll get.
Oh no, I wouldn't care. I'd just be like this.
Oh my God, stop. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. On that note, woo!
Rock and roll!
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.